The reason I came on to the company, because my mother had founded the business back in 2009 with her sister as it was an antique booth. They always liked antiques. She took me antiquing years and years ago when I was a kid. And so they had always kind of wanted to do like an antique booth type thing. And she had started to buy up like Pyrex, which is very much from her period of growing up back in like the 60s. She really got invested in it. And when she got into collecting Pyrex and filling her booth with it, it became something she wanted to keep pursuing. It wasn't just an antique booth anymore. It was its own uniquely defined, retail entity. And so since then, I just stayed working with it, and I love the business itself. My mother's name is Jolene, and her father's name was Joe. And then it's also named kind of in honor of her father. She's the Joe. Really, I always say she's the Joe in JoRetro. So I love working with her. It's great. It's a very much like a partnership. We've become kind of a fixture in the downtown, especially now because we're open 7 days a week and we're so big. We've become sort of an anchor store. But the locals, I mean, I see locals all the time coming in to grab a replacement dish, or to get a gift for somebody. The biggest struggle was figuring out what path forward we were going to take during the shutdowns, during COVID shutdowns, because that was sort of a big turning point there. We were primarily just a vintage store at the time, but during that time, we really saw that having an online store was going to be a necessity, and that's what we did. And so we started to completely diversify our inventory, and that's when a lot of the new stuff started to come in, a lot of the retro style stuff. But now other vintage stuff, like the Spaceman bottles, I do have online, and those are vintage from the 50s, but those are actually easy to ship because I can ship them in their original boxes. And those blew up last year. We were shipping them all across the country. I love working in a family business and working for myself. There's nothing I'd rather do.